This is a research regarding design studio users' experience. I am Reem Sultan from the University of Sheffield. An ongoing research at the University of Sheffield is investigating how built environment can influence behaviours and feeling to its users. The research is focusing on higher education, learning and teaching spaces, specifically looking at the architectural and design education. Architectural and design education have the advantage of encompassing the culture of the design studio, with the studio model taking on a significant part of the life of the architectural student. Using a design studio in the context of learning, the ways by which the physical properties of the studio influence behaviors and attitudes towards learning and how architects are shaped can be investigated. The purpose of this research is to investigate the educational design studio as a physical space, the design studio as a curriculum, and to explore the students' perception of the design studio. The main exploration is related to how do the physical characteristics of the design studio influence certain behaviors of studio users relevant to collaborative learning. There are 3 popular ideas on how an environment, an interior design, and architecture can be perceived, according to the Handbook of Interior Architecture and Design, namely probabilistic functionalism by Egon Brunswik, and the lens model with affordances proposed by James Gibson, and lastly, collative properties by Daniel Berlyne. The first idea by Egon Brunswik, creating the lens model, states that people who are experience the space take distal cues from the space and then perceive these distal cues with proximal cues, and then accordingly evaluate the space. Affordance is a term developed by Gibson in 1976. Affordances are the qualities of an object or an environment that allow or afford an individual to perform an action or series of actions. Affordances, in a nutshell, may refer to the immediate perception of what a surface is made from. For example, certain substances, which can be seen to feature in the point of view of a person. Collative properties is an approach which is based on comparing attributes of the setting, which then allow the person to express interest in the setting itself. The collative properties could be used to perceive a state of the interior space, or otherwise to detect the unexpected features in the space, or to sense whether something is out of place. Novelty, complexity, and surprise are some examples of collative properties. Learning from these ideas of precedence, a framework has been developed which considers and examines the interaction between space and users. This is achieved through seeking to establish the experiences and perceptions of the users of the design studio, as well as through the adoption of multidisciplinary qualitative approaches, which provide a holistic centered captures. 4 case studies has been investigated, visiting studios from across England: Northumbria University, Newcastle University, Plymouth University, and an in-depth investigation at the University of Sheffield. Through customer journey mapping, a tool that has been borrowed and adopted from business and service design research, it looks at design project phases, touch points, pain points, emotions, as well as physical space, and the interpretation and observation of drawings applied in alignment with other methods. Experiences are recorded, with the data then interpreted through different lenses. the interior designer, tutor, and the researcher. Importance is directed towards learning and acknowledging that one design cannot fit different locations and contexts. The findings from the investigation have been disseminated in the form of design ideas to benefit different universities, tutors, and other disciplines that may be seeking to adapt the studio model. These ideas are not a how to design a studio. It is mainly what to consider when designing a studio, as the idea of a replica for spaces contrasts the idea that each space is unique through its user's demographic profile, purpose, and context.